Good evening, wrestling fans. I am Lewis, the encyclopedia of pro wrestling, along with
Jay, the heel kid of pro wrestling.
And this is Evolution of Pro Wrestling. Welcome back, fans, to another exciting edition of Evolution of Pro Wrestling. Thank you for joining us. We got an outstanding show for you guys today. We are excited. We have so much to talk about in so little time. Professional wrestling. Elimination Chamber is this Saturday, Jay.
It is.
All these stars have flown to, I believe it's in London. Is it London, if I'm not mistaken?
I think so. It's in London.
Let me see. WWE Elimination Chamber. Elimination Chamber 2024. It is... Let me see the overview. This place is... where is this place? Yes, per head. All right, give me a second. Oh, in Australia. This is in Australia.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
that's going to be pretty interesting. And apparently, the event starts at 5 o'clock in the morning Eastern time.
Jesus.
And I'm going to be up at that time anyway. So, but I'm very excited. I'm very excited for the Elimination Chamber.
Like in our time, that's when it starts.
Yeah.
God, I don't
5
think,
o'clock in the morning.
You'd be surprised at how many people would stay up just to wait for that event.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised what's gonna be the outcome of that.
Hello,
Caraquillo. Hello from Puerto Rico. Buena tarde. Bienvenido. Gracias. Welcome everybody to Evolution of Pro Wrestling. Who's ever coming in? We got an exciting show for you guys today. Dave, my man, as always, the champion of Evolution of Pro Wrestling trivia. Still,
yep.
We got a lot to discuss. And I'm excited. We're excited to what we're going to do. But we're going to start with wrestling news. There's something here that Kevin Owens apparently takes a plunge with a daring leap into the ocean in Perth, Australia.
That is insane.
He's having a ball out there, apparently. And Charlotte apparently was seen with John Cena. They were spotted together at NXT. I've been seeing Charlotte Flair working out as of late for the past 7 weeks.
She's trying to get back into it. She's trying to get back in the ring.
Well, what do you think is going to be the timeline of Charlotte Flair's return?
What do you mean timeline?
Like, when do you think she's going to come back?
Honestly, there's no telling. Like, perfect example. Look at Randy Orton. Nobody knew when he was. Nobody even thought he was coming back. It's just, when your body gets healthy like that again, and when you feel like you're 1,000% ready, then that's when it's time to, all right, yes. I think I'm ready to get back in the ring. So
yeah, well, she is kind of stiff. That's the shit that you gotta.
I was about to say maybe hopefully she's been working on her craft. She's been she's been trying to work on getting herself back together. Being less stiff in the ring and stuff like that. So
well, let's hope that's not the case. Especially now that Andrade is back in WWE and they're working out again. So
WWE, yeah.
Let's see what happens.
I have high hopes for her. I think that she won't be as stiff as she used to be, and she is. Then that's very unfortunate, but she is a Flair after all. So
yo, Russell, what's going on, man?
I feel like she's gonna make a better comeback. So
well, who knows when that comeback is gonna be?
I think it won't be. I think she's just waiting for the proper time. She's not just yet.
Whoa. We are live, guys. We are live. So, for those of you tuning in, we're having our wrestling's top news along with our topic of the night, pro wrestling titles. All titles. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of titles in pro wrestling. And then our Elimination Chamber predictions for the night. But Jaden,
Dad,
coming up very soon, Sting is going to have a match at Revolution to retire. Well, how do you feel about this? With small news, QT Marshall is back in AEW in a backstage role. Interesting. That's good. At least he's back.
I'm thinking The Rock is going to turn on Roman Reigns.
Absolutely.
Oh,
absolutely. That's without a doubt.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Without a shadow of a doubt. He's probably
going to cost him the title.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
He's definitely going to cost him that title.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, but Sting's final match. I think I'm happy for him. You know what I mean? Like, Sting is a wrestling legend in the wrestling world, and, I'm not going to say it's about time he retires, because, when you see your favorite legend retire, you're like, dang, all the memories you had with this wrestler, seeing this wrestler in the ring so much. So, you know, I'm happy for him. You know, I'm happy that, you know, I just hope that they don't retire him on a loss like how they did with The Undertaker. So,
well, listen, Sting was always a loyal employee in WCW. I'm glad he didn't have that tenure in WWE.
Yeah,
because they would have just screwed him up. This man would have screwed him up.
They would have messed him up for sure.
Yeah.
Especially Vince, he would have did him so dirty.
Well, Jaden, with pro wrestling now, how does it feel to be a fan with everything going on?
It's pretty good, you know. I'm like from this span to the span like from a few years ago. Wrestling was gaga back then. Like it was like. I think like during the years of COVID, probably going forward, like after COVID really like slowed down, it was terrible. Especially since Vince McMahon was in control, but now that Triple H has control, The Rock is getting into the mix with all this stuff. So I like it. I like how WWE has been going. I just like how the whole the wrestling world has been going. So it's great. You know, it's good to be a wrestling fan.
Oh, yes.
That's
also true. That's also true. Thank you, Dave. Sting's father just passed away a couple of days ago. Unfortunately, you know, our condolences to Sting and his family.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's got to be tough to lose it. You know, right when you're about to retire, you know, I'm sure he would have wanted his father to see him have that retirement match. You know what I mean? But that sucks, man. It sucks that it had.
Do it for your dad, man. Do it for your pops.
Definitely got to do it, man. But he was. This man is an awesome. It's great to be a fan now. There's something out there. There's TNA, there's NWA, MLW, AEW, WWE. Like there's so much things to watch out there. It's a good time to be a fan.
There is definitely something for everyone out here right now.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I agree.
That when it comes to professional wrestling, like right now, there's a CW app. They have a lot of NWA stuff in there, and I'm actually intrigued to see that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But here's one statement that I just saw on Ringside News. John Cena admits he had creative control for his character except for turning heel. That has me to wonder that's probably why he never turned heel. Because he didn't have control over that.
He didn't have control over that. Wasn't he? No, he was a face when he was a
He was a face. OVW is popping. See, OVW. There's a lot of promotions out there, man. There's a lot of promotions
Where would you see John Cena go if he was a heel? Where do you think his career would have been?
I think it would have been better.
Better?
It would have been way better.
Now,
but unfortunately,
what stage during this heel turn would he have? Like the Doctor of Thugonomics when he was Mr. Babyface or Super Cena? Like what?
Well,
what John Cena would you prefer?
Definitely the Doctor of Thugonomics.
Oh yeah,
definitely the Doctor of Thugonomics.
At first I thought he was a heel until I got told that he was a babyface.
No, at a point he was. When he first became the Doctor of Thugonomics, he was a heel at first, and then he eventually turned into a face, and that's when they built that career off for him.
Yeah,
and it's like okay. You know, like he's getting a lot of pull, but then as time kept going, he started changing his attitude, hustle, loyalty, respect, all this bullshit, blah 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 blah,
yeah.
and like
he just became a modern day Hulk Hogan.
Dave says, in the last month, I've watched WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor, and went to an indie show, EWA, Maryland, and Combat Zone Wrestling. It is hell of a great time to be a fan.
It is a great time to be
Rock
a fan.
versus Cena, he should have win here.
Heel.
He should have win heel. Exactly.
I agree.
That's what I'm saying. That would have been the perfect time.
He should have went heel at that time. I definitely.
But
agree.
again, Vince McMahon not knowing shit what the hell to do. That's what he does. That's what Vince McMahon does. You know, but I'm glad he's no longer in WWE. You know,
forget WWE. He's no longer in the wrestling business whatsoever. Like he got no say so in nothing anymore. He got no.
Exactly.
Not even just like
exactly.
Most of the McMahon family isn't even because of the hot water that he put them in. So.
Well, to aid the AEW news, in good note. AEW Dynamite has actually seen an increase in viewership for the February 21st show.
Exactly why I said, you know, it's a good time to be a fan for everybody because wrestling has been doing good for all companies, including AEW.
Yes, exactly. And with AEW, listen, to me, Tony Khan, he can get asses in the seats if he wanted to, but you got to think smart out the box. Yeah, you can't be thinking all the time.
Think smarter, not
Triple H is better than anyone. Of course. Promoting the show, absolutely.
The show, booking, of course.
He's booking,
way
absolutely.
Better than booking. I feel like he understands the business.
Absolutely.
I feel like he understands the business more than Vince McMahon does.
He took something that turned into shit into gold. Because right away, when The Rock took the spot of Cody Rhodes, the first thing that happened, the fans let him know. They let him know, all right, this is not what we want. This is bullshit.
He knew what he was doing, though. But come on, now, at the same time, he also knew that was pulling them. He knows what's best for business. He knows that the business, in order to get what the fans want, it's going to take a little bit of hate. For example, the thing he literally just did, he got the fans to hate the idea that he had. It was like a Vince McMahon idea. Until he realized that Cody was in this entire mix. He was in this entire mix, and now everybody loves it. Everybody loves it.
Yes, I agree, Jamie. It's increasing with the independent scene.
With the
independent scene is also getting up there.
Getting up there.
You know what I mean? And that's where it starts. The independent scene, with all these stars get noticed, they get booked out there
they're born.
To see where they are.
They're made or broken there.
Yep.
It's either they ascend to higher levels or they go down to the deepest darks. So
exactly, that's what I'm saying. Dave Little says Tony just hired a female producer who just left WWE. Can't remember her name. Wish he would get Scott D'Amore. That would be perfect.
Scott D'Amore would be.
Listen,
the
I'm
perfect
still
person.
pissed that Scott D'Amore got fired from TNA.
From TNA,
this man built that company by himself,
literally on his own,
and kept it there through the struggles.
He did just for them to fire him.
Exactly.
That was a big slap. In the
That was
face.
stupid.
That was
ridiculous.
That was a huge slap in the face. I hope he finds somewhere even better, like one of their. I don't mean like if from a business standpoint. I hope that he finds somewhere with.
Cody personally wouldn't back down, and Triple H took his back, of course, because it's what's best for business. Because now you're getting Seth Rollins involved in this, which means if he fights at the Elimination Chamber. Because I'm seeing, the normal, predictable, if it's a tag team in Elimination Chamber, but apparently The Rock ain't going to be there. So,
who knows?
So they say, but who knows?
So maybe he won't be in the match.
Who knows? But
definitely think he's going to make an appearance.
There was speculation that there was supposed to be a match at WrestleMania between Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins against The Rock and Roman Reigns to decide if they lose, Cody loses the title. If Cody wins with Seth, he gets the title shot against Roman Reigns. But who knows?
I don't think they should do that.
D'Amore was the savior of TNA. I absolutely agree.
What's the next event after Elimination
WrestleMania.
Chamber? That's it.
WrestleMania. That's it. WrestleMania.
I think they should save that for like Monday Night Raw or something. I don't think they should do that at WrestleMania. I think Cody deserves a WrestleMania moment.
Of course
he
does.
He deserves a WrestleMania moment, and giving him that title at WrestleMania should be that moment.
I hope they could.
They still have plenty of time.
The question is though, is Damian Priest at any time going to cash in?
I think he might cash in on either Seth Rollins or Gunther. I think those are the two he's going to cash in on. I don't feel like they're going to give him, especially since Cody's running for title right now, I don't think they're going to give him the chance at the WWE title just yet. I feel like they're going to try to build him up. They're going to make him cash in, probably win the World Heavyweight title. He's going to go on a reign for a little bit, build up his character even more, and then he's going to give up the title eventually, and then he's going to go for the title, for the main title.
Well, let's see.
Which hopefully will be in Cody's hands by then.
Bloodline run with titles till SummerSlam. I really hope not.
I really hope not.
I don't want.
I think he's had the title.
I don't want Cody losing that match at WrestleMania.
That would be would be a slap in the face.
Exactly. Like you got the man run the world.
That would be a Shinsuke Nakamura all over again.
Yeah, like that. That's something I don't want to see. He got to give the man the title.
They do. Definitely
but
got to give him his title.
Jaden, when we mention titles,
yep.
There's so many.
There is many.
There's the Intercontinental. There's WWE Championship.
New Japan title.
There's New Japan. But what do they mean? Who wore them? Who wore the titles at that time?
Only people who were worthy.
And which means this brings us to our topic of the night: professional wrestling's titles. What's going on,
AJ, feel me. Let me know, because I'm curious why you think they're gonna hold the titles to SummerSlam. I mean, we're talking. About titles,
definitely.
Let me know. I wanna know.
Yeah, no, definitely intrigue us.
If Roman makes it to SummerSlam, he breaks Hulk.
But why? That's what I'm saying. Why? Go P. What's going on, Kev?
I guess it's like he's the top. He's the top heel of the.
Yeah.
of the business father-son duos. You know what's up.
Yeah. You know what else is up? That our fans share our content all over social media. Bring everybody in, your friends, your cousins, everybody. Let's bring everybody in to talk. Let's chat. Let's talk about title reigns, the people that held titles, all the titles in the world, WCW, WWE, New Japan, AWA, NWA, whatever the hell we can think of. Mention it. Mention the stars. And let's go from there.
Let's go.
Jaden, when you hear about championship titles,
yep,
which one in mind do you think comes into play? Which one comes to mind in your book?
In my book, I feel like to be honest, the Intercontinental title comes to my mind. And
why?
That's because that title was like before there was a World Heavyweight title, before there was, there's always been a World WWE title, but I feel like the Intercontinental title, like it had like a really deeper meaning than what it has now. Back then, that was like the title that signified like you were the second top guy, you were the person that is carrying the gold before you get to the actual gold. You know, you're carrying the cash before you get to the gold. So that's just what I feel like that title signifies, and a lot of great people has held that title before. And
name one.
People can disagree with me on this, or there's quite a few of them. There's Seth Rollins. To me, The Miz has won that title at least a good 6 or 7 times.
Absolutely.
And every time he's held that title, he never disappointed me. Every time I seen that title on Miz's
I agree
shoulders,
with Dave. It says titles have changed so much over the years. It's not what they used to be. Absolutely
that's
not.
What I said.
Because back then
exactly
there were
titles. The
like,
Intercontinental title actually used to stand for something.
No, but now it does. Now it does because it moved up.
It does,
but before that shouldn't mean nothing.
It still doesn't have as big of a meaning as it used to.
Jamie says, as for me, goes for the non-WWE, the NWA 10-pound of gold. Absolutely. The NWA belt was also good.
NWA belt.
But when he mentions the Intercontinental titles, you know, there was greats like Bret Hart, Pat Patterson, the first ever Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, that was the first.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, when he had that greatest match with Macho Man at WrestleMania 3. Jeff Jarrett, Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon, like
I'm about to
Tito
say,
Santana, Pedro Morales, like that title back then was very prestigious before they screwed it up. Like, oh, okay. Yeah. Bradley says IC Championship was the road to WWF title in some cases. Exactly.
Right, exactly.
Which led from the Ultimate Warrior facing Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 6 because he was considered the #1 contender, title for title. You know what I mean? But to me, when you talk about the Intercontinental title, I'm still shocked to this day that a woman won it, which was China. China won the title. She did win the Intercontinental title from Jeff Jarrett.
She did.
And it was hilarious when she had that storyline with Eddie Guerrero.
That was insane.
Eddie Guerrero hugged her, pinned her, didn't know he pinned her, and took the title from her.
He did.
I'm like, oh shit. And the face he put. Oh man, that joke was funny.
Mr. Perfect as well.
Mr. Perfect was also a good champion.
He was Mr. Perfect.
Mr. Perfect was definitely a good champion. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I'm about to say, I really think that a lot of people, like, I think one of the most, like, used titles is...
Yo, what's going on? What up, Alex? What up, fams?
What up, man? I think that is one of the most used titles in wrestling to this day, the IC title, and that's because, you know, it's a very popular title, and like I said, it means something. It got a meaning for something.
Miz truly brought back meaning to the Intercontinental Championship. Absolutely.
I agree.
Absolutely.
As many times as he's won. That's why I said every time I seen him carry that title on his shoulders, it never disappointed me.
No, because
I feel like that title was made for the Miz.
Because he knew how to work a crowd. He knew how to play that character because he was a heel when he was the Intercontinental Champion. Just
for me,
he said my favorite era territory world champion was the man.
Was the man?
Let me see. Was the Magger secondary United States was on deck but also toured. Territory titles were the Workhorse, Mid-Atlantic, Mid-South, Pacific Northwest, Junior Heavyweight was used as a house show champion.
It was used,
but these were shows that were known.
Yeah,
these were belts that people would know. Dolph Ziggler was a good Intercontinental champion too.
IC title, yeah, he was.
Who was the worst Intercontinental champion of all time? In my opinion,
In my opinion, I would have to say the
Ultimate Warrior. Yeah. The Ultimate Warrior.
The Ultimate Warrior.
The
was
Ultimate
the worst.
Warrior. Listen, don't get me wrong. I know they needed to do that to build a new star.
I'm about to say,
Which I get it. But to me personally, he should have never won the world
I'm not
title.
gonna lie. I'd rather see the Miz than Ultimate Warrior win. The
Absolutely.
title. I would rather see the Miz win it 10 times over than the Ultimate Warrior.
Absolutely.
Like, and it's not that I got nothing against the Ultimate Warrior. I have nothing against him. It's just like I can't see the Ultimate Warrior with that title. I just couldn't. Like,
No, that was bad.
I couldn't see him with that title in hand. Like, it was just.
Well, you know what titles were. The United States title was a strong belt that will absolutely.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That belt, the WCW United States Heavyweight Championship was a very, very prestigious title.
It was a very prestigious
title.
title.
And I'm still pissed off that Logan Paul,
I can't believe it. I still can't believe it.
I understand, like I said, I understand
I was so
from
glad that Rick Rude beat him for the title. Who beat who for the title?
Ultimate Warrior.
Rick Rude beat him for the title?
For the Intercontinental title, yeah. So I think it was at WrestleMania 5.
Oh, okay.
Listen, the United States title has been held by many great stars in WCW and WWE. You know what I mean? And one star that comes to mind to me when it comes to the United States Championship, which I know it's going to be crazy, but I would actually have to say Nikita Koloff.
Nikita Koloff. Why you say that?
Because Nikita Koloff, at the point, he had a fierce rivalry at the time. I believe it was with Magnum TA and with Lex Luger. And it was actually a good rivalry for the title. So U.S. Championship was the backbone in NWA and WCW.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was a known belt back in the days, which pissed me off that the way they're using that shit now. With Logan Paul.
I even hate the design they got for it now.
No, that design was
the United States.
Sting was a good U.S. champion too.
Sting was a good U.S. champion, but the design they have for it now is just absolutely terrible. Like, I feel like they need to get another. They're trying to make all these titles look way too similar. Like, the Universal title looks way too similar. It looked way too similar. The WWE title looks too similar. I think the World Heavyweight is probably one of the only titles that look different.
The United States Championship to me is Tully Blanchard versus Mag. Oh shit! Damn, my man hit it right on the nail. The rivalry between Tully Blanchard and Magnum TA. Wow. They had with that U.S. title. Holy shit! I'm talking about brutal matches with these guys. Like steel cage to the max.
Not only that, at the time, the whole Russia
real life issues.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how it was back then.
And favorite version was the 10 pounds of silver.
That was the one I liked. Yep, and we saw it. We put it on a watch show.
That was the one I liked. The 10 pounds of silver.
Yep, exactly. That was the favorite one because it was terrible, man.
The one now is terrible. The one looks like a champion for soldiers. Like it.
No, that's ridiculous.
It don't even look like. I get it. It's called the United States title, but come on now. Like don't make it look like a rip-off version of the WWE title.
No,
it's literally, it looks, to me, it reminds me of the WWE title that Roman Reigns has now. I don't even like the design of the WWE title either.
Nope.
I'm not gonna lie. I think one of the designs that I do like with the titles now is the World Heavyweight title.
Yep.
And the Intercontinental title.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Other than that, the other titles.
The United States title was so prestigious in WWE at WCW at the time. They had Terry Funk hold it. Jeff Jarrett at the time was champion. Booker T. Roddy Piper at a point was champion. Eddie Guerrero at some point was also United States champion. And that was when he was in his prime. So even Stone Cold held that title, and he had a good run with that title.
He did.
You know what I mean?
He did.
But when you're talking about those titles, you got the WCW tag team titles. Like he said, belt wise, my favorite belt. Look wise. Let me see that comment. Let's see. My belt-wise, my favorite belt look-wise was the AWA Inmate on Nick Bockwinkel. Absolutely.
That one was a nice title.
Oh, I remember that match. Austin versus Dustin Rhodes for the United States title.
24/7 title.
Oh, man.
That title was a comedy title. Like, it was a nice looking title, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Very, very.
The 24/7 title.
Listen.
It was used for comedy. It was used for comedy.
Well, no,
but I like
comedy.
the design, though.
It was comedy because it was R-Truth. Because R-Truth was doing all that comedy with the 24/7 title.
I still feel like it was a nice design, though. It was like for that kind of title, and for R-Truth, that was R-Truth's title.
For the WC, yeah.
You can't tell me.
It was good. It was good.
For R-Truth, that was his title.
Yeah.
Like I can't see nobody else with that title besides R-Truth. Like that title was almost like made for him.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
6-man tag title was awesome too. But
I remember that.
Oh, that was when they had like the three titles.
They had the three titles. Yeah. It was a trio. They had it back in the NWA.
Yep.
You know what titles used to intrigue me back then? The IWGP titles.
IWGP.
New Japan.
Yeah, the New Japan title.
The Japan titles.
They have some nice designs too.
Like the IWGP World Heavyweight title was held by many stars. Many stars. But like the New Japan World Heavyweight title, like, oh man, like you can name stars as
many.
The Great Muta, Giant Baba. Oh shit. Antonio Inoki, Masahiro Chono. Like, still these guys are.
Didn't Akira Toriyama win the title?
Yes,
He did,
yes,
right? He
yes.
did win the title. Yep.
Even the NWA heavyweight title, held by Lou Thez and Buddy Rogers and Hardy Race, Jack Briscoe, like the NWA, like this is things that you don't hear about these days. You know what I mean? Like
you really don't.
Like it's crazy because
forget crazy. It's unbelievable how nobody talks about these titles anymore.
No. But that's the the WCCW 6-man Freebirds versus the Von Erichs. Holy shit. Like that was amazing. That was amazing, that rivalry that they had, those six. Like the Von Erichs when they had the 6-man tag team titles at the time. And it was listen, I'm not taking anything away from the Von Erichs. Nothing personal. But me personally, I think if it wasn't for the Freebirds, I don't think the Von Erichs would ever had a more of a career because of the rivalry that they had. It made the Freebirds so hated that the fans just wanted to kill them.
They did, yeah.
James, what's going on, man? AWA World Title has a lot of nodulistic
nostalgia of that.
Nostalgia. I'm sorry. No, the AWA World Title was held by many greats. Nick Bockwinkel, by far, to me, besides Vern Gagne, held that title prestigiously. Like Mad Dog Vachon held the title. Dick the Bruiser. Nick Bockwinkel to me was the best champion. Kurt Hennig even wore it.
Kurt Hennig did wear that, indeed.
Rick Martel. So Larry Sabisco. Like many great stars to this day that were Hall of Famers. WCW or WWF. Who had the better tag teams? Damn, that's a good question.
That is a good one. I feel like WWF was known more for factions.
No. Back
factions.
Back then, well, it depends on which era you're talking about.
I'm about to say, because there was like, I feel like there was an era for like each one, and
well, Dave says NWA had a better tag team division than WCW and WWE. Explain to us more, Dave. Why?
WWF in the 80s and WCW in the 90s.
Exactly. Because back in the 80s, the WWF had the Killer Bees, they had the British Bulldogs, Legion of Doom, they had the Heart Foundation, Powers of Pain, Strike Force. Like they had all these guys.
All these tag teams.
All right, we got a comment from Freddie King. Welcome, brother. Welcome. He said, "How do you feel about this, guys? Of course, we've had a tag team title for both shows in WWE, Raw and tag team titles, SmackDown and tag titles. What if they get rid of one of those tag belts and replace them with the U.S. tag team titles from NWA titles, as in having a world tag title, and a U.S. tag title? That way we can always have clear-cut number one contenders for the WWE World Tag Team titles.
That's a good idea.
That's a very good idea. Wow.
That's a very... I would be down with that.
That's a very good idea.
I would be down with that. I would like to see that too.
Demolition in the 80s.
Yep.
Like, there was a lot of good tag teams. And then in the WCW, you had the Rock and Roll Express, you had the Midnight Express, you had Dusty and Nikita, Road Warrior, Dusty and Nikita, the Road Warriors. You had, hey, Darnell Red, how you doing, man? Definitely, it's been a while, man. Darnell Reed, one of the top independent stars in professional wrestling. We had an interview with him, The Apocalypse. Yep, and it was a great interview. Thank you for joining us, sir. We appreciate it. But you see that. You see those tag teams. In the 90s of WCW, they had Harlem Heat. They had the Hollywood Blondes. They had Tully and Arn, the Brain Busters. Like, it was at that time, too, it was good to be a fan.
Oh yeah.
With tag teams, they were amazing. Look, in the 80s, they had the Islanders, the Wild Samoans, the Head Shrinkers, like Doom, Steiners, like those were tag teams you saw.
Those were tag teams. NWA era also did the Crockett Cup for tag teams.
Yeah, I remember that. I definitely remember that.
I've never heard of that. Somebody fill me in. What is the?
It was a Crockett. It was Crockett Cup. It was full of great tag teams. Many great tag teams, man. Okay. Like you knew you was Sheik and Nikolai, Luger and Sting. I'm telling you, man.
Oh, it was a good time to be a fan.
Of course it was, man.
Definitely a good time to be a fan.
Ooh, excuse me.
Bless you.
Sorry, I had some good food. But no, these titles were very prestigious.
Very.
And okay, so let's go back to what Dave said. Dave said the tag team division of WC. Shout out to Public Enemy and ECW. They were good too. ECW was in their own brand of nature because those guys, when Public Enemy got public, they went crazy.
Yeah.
All right, let's check this out. NWA tag team titles. Let's see this here.
NWA tag team titles.
The NWA tag team titles were held by many great stars such as Barry Windham and Dustin Rhodes, Ricky Steamboat and Shane Douglas, Steve Austin and Brian Pillman.
I forgot those two.
The Hollywood Blondes
teams, yeah.
Arn Anderson and Paul Roma.
Yep.
The Rock and Roll Express. Many great stars. Pat Anderson and C.W. Anderson. The Headbangers. The new Midnight Express.
Yep.
Barry Windham and Tully Blanchard.
Border Patrol wanted.
There are a lot of them. There's a lot of stars here that held these titles.
Those titles.
You know what I mean?
Hall and
Kurt Hennig.
Yeah.
That was in AWA. You know. Let me see. Let me find my NWA belts here.
His AWA belts. Jesus.
Okay, let's take a look.
It's like Dusty. It's like Dusty's classic. It's like Dusty Classics in NXT.
Yeah,
it is like that. I agree.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But see, what about WCCW? World Class Championship Wrestling.
The Briscoes, of course.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, of course. They did also hold the titles as well.
Yes.
They were tag team titles.
There was Briscoes. All right, so let's go to AWA. AWA, Dave mentioned AWA titles. Let's check out these tag team titles that he's talking about in AWA, which was back then a very prestigious company. You know, with Vern Gagne running it and the way it was. Okay, so we got champions like Larry Hennig. This man was Hennig. Like this.
Yeah, that man was
would
huge.
Beat the shit out of you. Like it was him and Harley Race as tag team champions.
And Bockwinkel, they did hold.
Yes, those two were amazing. Look, okay, here's the teams that Dave mentioned. AWA teams were the High Flyers, Agent Adonis and Jesse Ventura, Bruiser and Crusher, and the Vachons. The Vachons were known for like crazy. Yeah. They were known to beat the shit out of you. Like they didn't give a fuck. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that? I'm sorry because we are MA, mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised. Fucking Bruh. So, yes, Harley Race and Larry the Axe Hennig. Larry the Axe, he beat the shit out of you. Like, he didn't care.
I'm pretty sure almost every person back
The
then.
Midnight Express, the Midnight Rockers, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. That's what they were at the time in AWA.
Midnight Rockers?
And they were an excellent tag team. They were an excellent tag team in that organization.
So when they left was when they became the Rockers.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Look at this. Even this one, Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee at a point. The Moondogs. Woo-hoo. They were also good ones. They were also good stars. I'm telling you, man, there were many great champions in AWA.
There was a lot of tag teams in AWA.
The Midnight Rockers held it for a while.
For a while,
you know what I mean? And they defeated the Rock and Roll Express.
Currently, AEW has a better tag team division over WWE and TNA.
Really?
I agree.
Okay, enlighten us with that.
I do agree. I mean, it's just the truth. Like all the tag teams that they have going on, I feel like their tag teams are more organized as well. Like they don't have like 7 different tag team titles just for 2 companies. Like the moment I seen that Raw and SmackDown split titles for 2 companies, I thought that was the worst idea in all of wrestling.
Yeah, I thought
that was the worst idea.
I understand you trying to give other stars the big push,
but it
stuff
makes
like that.
More interesting. Well, look at the contenders you can have. Look at the matches you can build when there's only titles for one company. So,
James says Jaden watching Midnight Rockers versus Buddy Rose and Doug Summers.
I'll watch it.
All right,
I'll watch it. I got you.
No, listen. They really made a name for themselves in AWA, the Rockers. Let me ask you a question. With what you guys mentioned about the titles from back then and the titles now, what makes them so freaking nasty today?
Like in the bad way, right?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, the designs. The designs are terrible, and 2, they don't really. I feel like they don't have as much meaning back then. Like we were talking about earlier. Look at the United States title, for example, and even look at the World Heavyweight title. That only means something now because it's on Gunther right now. Mm-hmm. Before then, they completely dismembered that title. That wasn't even a title in the business anymore until I'm pretty sure last year when they just brung the title back. So the titles really don't have a meaning anymore, like they used to. And nowadays they really just I don't know. It's just I feel like more of the titles meant
I felt that
contender. They were more so meant for number 1 contenders for the main title.
Hey Jessica, how you doing? Thank you. Welcome.
And now they don't really use that for that anymore. They just throw them on anybody. And
no, but that's
Logan
what I'm saying.
Paul is the perfect example of just throwing a title on somebody that's good for business.
Exactly. It's a standpoint now, but I feel that that title should be taken off of him.
Oh yeah, without doubt. There was many people you could have given it to. You could have given it to Ricochet. You could have given it to.
I'm sorry, not to cut you off, Joe. Before we continue, guys, at the end of the show, we have a very special announcement regarding a show heading towards WrestleMania, and we're gonna let you know about that after the show ends. Okay.
Yep.
But no, it's okay. Logan Paul, I understand that he's this social media type fucking icon. Okay, so what?
I don't.
You're tarnishing a title that
had a deep meaning.
Deep meaning, and to me, what made it relevant back then was when John Cena always did those open challenges.
Mind you, he had a spinner belt too. John Cena, I don't know what it was with John Cena on the spinner belts, but
yeah, Bradley, I remember that when he broke the belt in the back.
John Cena also had a spinner. He had the United States spinner. That one was one of my favorites too. He made I feel like he really set the tone during the Ruthless Aggression era. He definitely set the tone for the United States title because back then it was on John Cena. John Cena was the hottest thing out right now.
Yeah, and
I'm not even gonna lie. I feel like during that time that title was popping more than the WWE title. Okay. That title was more popular than the main title.
So we got a comment from James. James says the tag team division needs to have a solid build for each team. NWA and WWF has low card teams and higher card teams.
Yeah.
It sucks.
They should have gave the U.S. title to Jey Uso.
Yeah, I agree too. No, and supposedly the original plan that Jey was supposed to win the Intercontinental title on Monday Night Raw.
I wouldn't even mind seeing Kevin Owens win the title. I wouldn't mind seeing Kevin Owens, somebody like AJ Styles, somebody like Shinsuke Nakamura.
I don't know. I don't know if it was Valentine that destroyed the title, but I remember when that green belt that they had. I remember that rivalry with with Greg the Hammer Valentine and Tito Santana. Dave Biddle says overexposure. Growing up, I got to see the territory champions and the world champion once a year, but could follow them touring in the magazine. They also stayed in their lane. Tag teams were tag teams, not singles wrestlers put together, and junior heavyweights were against each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was how it was.
Unfortunately, that's how it is now.
Bradley says it's because more of a joke than anything else. AEW makes the titles mean more now.
Exactly.
But that's what I'm saying. That you want to put Cody. A lot of people are saying there's this rumors if Cody Rhodes wins this title, wins the WWE Universal Championship, the title, he is going to change it back to the winged belt.
Thank you.
Which I'm hoping that does happen.
Change it back.
Rikishi's going to cost Roman the title, and he said he did it for The Rock.
For The Rock.
Because that's what he did. He did that last time. When he ran over Stone Cold, he said, I did it for The Rock.
Yeah.
Okay, I did it.
I feel like they're cooking up. I feel like this is definitely the end of the bloodline.
I hope so. I really hope so.
Like I said, if Cody wins that title, please bring back the title.
If you want to keep Roman's momentum going,
make him lose that title.
Make him lose that title. Give him a long vacay, and
now what would
make him come back as a face.
What would he do? Oh, okay.
But a more aggressive.
So then,
face.
what would happen with his family? Then would he just be a solo wrestler? What's gonna happen to Solo? What's gonna happen to Solo Sikoa?
That's what I'm saying. Roman returns and faces returns a face for the Rumble next year. Quite possible.
But then, what would that mean though? If he wins the Rumble, because I don't want that title back on him again. He's had a long enough run. He's had a long enough run.
Who knows? They might give him that World Heavyweight title.
But Roman is getting old now. It's time for him now.
They might give him that world title.
I hope not.
It would be nice to see Jimmy versus Jay for the IC Championship. It would have been nice, of course.
That would have been nice.
But I guess they just want to... Listen, not for nothing. I'm actually looking forward to that match.
Aren't they fighting at WrestleMania?
They're supposed to, especially after this. What happened on Monday Night Raw?
I want to see those two.
I want to see those two go at it because it would be
a very awesome.
It would be an amazing.
You know,
match.
that was those two had a dream for that too. Those two wanted to fight each other at WrestleMania, and now
it could come true. Yeah. And
it's a cool thing.
Solo has a losing record since coming to the main roster. Yeah, he beat the shit out of John Cena, but then hasn't.
They're doing him kind of dirty right now. I hope they're setting him up to be a single star.
I hope so too, man.
I hope they don't turn him into like another.
I hope so too.
I hope they don't turn him into like another Samoa Joe of the WWE, where like he had like all this momentum, all these mic skills, and like everything he needed to be a top star, and then they just completely decimated his character.
They ruined him. Dave says, I also miss niche titles, specifically the Brass Knuckles Championship. Hardcore would have been the modern day version. I remember those titles.
I'm not gonna lie.
I remember those titles.
The hardcore.
Absolutely.
I think the one person I seen carrying the hardcore title, the first time I got introduced to the hardcore title, I'm pretty sure was Stone. I think it was Stone Cold was the one that had
the hardcore title was actually Mankind.
Mankind, yes.
In my day, when you won a title, you were saying something. Exactly.
I think Austin had his own title too. There was around a time where he had two titles. He had
the Broken Skull belt.
The Broken Skull belt.
He made his own customized belt.
He did,
which was cool. And then The Rock had a Bravo of a belt.
He had one, and then don't forget Ted DiBiase had a belt too.
No, to me, one of my the $1 million belt.
Yeah.
One of my favorites was the WCW Big Heavyweight title.
Heavyweight title was that.
That joint was good.
That was a good one.
Like that title was held by many great stars.
Yep.
Like I can't even count the amount of people that held that title.
Yeah.
Like I just want to go into that before we go into our predictions.
Yeah.
For Elimination Chamber, because the WCW World title was an amazing title.
A top title for any company should be held with prestige.
Exactly.
All the time.
Exactly.
Say that again. Right. Say that again.
You're absolutely right. I absolutely agree with that.
And
in WCW,
unfortunately, they don't understand that.
Listen, in the WCW title was held by Ric Flair many times.
Did Lex you Luger. Like it? That I think that was a question for you.
Did you like it better than the NWA title?
Stumped you with a question.
Yeah, it's kind of tough because the NWA was very prestigious too. The NWA title was known for, especially I remember when Harley Race was the champion. Harley Race knew how to cut a promo. He knew how to defend it. Especially the match that him and Ric Flair had at Starrcade in the steel cage, where Ric Flair won. So that's a tough question, man. The encyclopedia is not here right now. You know, if he had his glasses on and be here, he would answer you with a correct question.
Yeah, if he had his readers on.
Yeah. You know, I'm an old man. I'm not. I'm too crippled right now. I'm sorry. I hurt my back, and I got my heating pad on. But no, you had stars like Randy Savage, Van Vader, Hulk Hogan, Macho Man.
After you're done with that, somebody got a question for you.
Sure. Let me see. What's the question
here? Who was
here?
the worst WCW championship? I think he means title holder, but
David Arquette.
David Arquette.
Do you know who David Arquette is?
I don't even.
Do you remember the movie Scream?
Yeah.
The guy who's the cop?
Oh, him.
David Arquette.
Oh God.
He was a
WCW
champion.
Wrestler? What in the world?
He was a WCW champion. He came in. WCW just fucks the shit up. Put the title on him by beating Eric Bischoff. And then what do you do next? You tarnished.
Eric Bischoff.
Yeah, Ready to Rumble. Ready to Rumble.
Watch it. I think I've seen that movie.
Ready to Rumble.
Sounds very familiar.
It's a good movie, but he's one of them that went on there. Flair versus Vader was a great championship match. Many matches, man.
Oh, yeah.
Many great titles with this, man. It was amazing. But when you're talking about titles, we're going to see some defended at Elimination Chamber.
Elimination.
And now this brings us to our Elimination Chamber prediction.
Yeah, not Galaxy 24 series.
No. So apparently we're being told that Cody Rhodes and the World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins is going to appear on the Grayson Waller effect. This is going to be apparently the two are expected to address their partnership in the face of The Rock joining forces with the Bloodline after their dust up at the WrestleMania kickoff press conference earlier this month. Jaden, how do you think that's going to go?
I'm back to being confused again because what does Seth Rollins have to do with
Because Seth Rollins was at...
Or maybe this is just a theory of mine, but it seems like Triple H is being really smart and he's using people that Roman Reigns had history with. For example, Seth Rollins was in the Shield and The Rock is his cousin. He's trying to use everything in his ability to get Roman Reigns off his game and cost him the title for Cody Rhodes to win it. That's just my theory because it just makes the most sense. If you just put 2 and 2 together, it just makes the most sense. At first I was like, wait, why is Seth Rollins in this? Now I'm back to being confused again. But then as you just put the pieces together, or you attempt to put the pieces together, it starts to make sense.
Oh, it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see when they do talk about that.
I just hope that they're not setting up for that tag match at Mania.
It's possible.
I don't want that.
It's possible. It would be a great match.
When would he? I just feel like he should get his WrestleMania moment. I feel like that Cody Rhodes.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That supposedly they spoke to other people in the locker that know Roman, Seth, and The Rock. So that's what I'm saying. He will pretty much, if they do the tag team match, more than likely they're going to have a second night match with Cody and Roman.
Probably.
Because they already announced it.
Yeah.
So,
I actually forgot that there was a second night for WrestleMania.
There's 2 nights, remember?
There's 2 nights. I completely forgot about that. Not used to that. So used to the one event WrestleMania.
I know. So this match is going to happen at the Elimination Chamber, the Undisputed Tag Team Championship. Judgment Day Zone, Damian Priest and Finn Balor going up against British Strong Style, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. Where do you see this going, Jay?
I think British Strong Style is going to win.
Really?
And I think that because they're still trying to set up Damian Priest.
James is going to be at night 2, which we are going to mail you your shirt, sir. We haven't forgot. We got you. Don't worry about it.
I feel like they're going to win due to the fact that I feel like they're still trying to set up Damian Priest for the title. And I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like once that happens, I feel like the what is the name of their group?
Judgment Day.
The Judgment Day.
You forgot?
I had a brain fart.
I think Judgment Day is going to win.
I
think Judgment Day is going to win.
For the
tag team titles, yes.
So then, I don't know, because it's Damian Priest and Finn Balor. I feel like if it was, Dom is in NXT right now, right?
No, Dom is still with them, but he's not even on the card.
Dom is just everywhere at this point. He's just in wrestling.
Listen, to me,
I don't know. I feel like
to me personally, Dominic should have won that match to get into Elimination Chamber.
Then what were they gonna do with Damian's cash in?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
It's very confusing.
I don't think they're gonna win.
I hope they come up with a master plan with this one.
They're gonna win because I feel like they're trying to save up for his cash in for.
So you're going with the British Strong Style.
The British Strong Style.
All right.
Just due to the fact of the plan that they probably have for Damian Priest.
I agree. The Creed brothers definitely need to win those titles.
Finn Balor and Damian Priest
lose it at Mania.
Okay. At Mania.
Okay. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Next match, the Women's World Championship, Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax.
Rhea Ripley.
Yep, Rhea Ripley all the way. Rhea Ripley all the way. Rhea Ripley all the way.
I don't think Nia Jax is ready for a title.
No, not yet. Not yet. Gave her that title at one point, but not right now.
I don't even think.
See, they could have had Dom win the Elimination Chamber and help Priest cash in.
Until she proves me otherwise, I don't think she's worthy for a title at all. Until I see different from Nia Jax.
Ripley all the way. It's her hometown.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's her hometown.
That's what I'm saying. Until I see different, I don't think Nia's going to win a title.
All right. Our Women's Elimination Chamber match. Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and Raquel Rodriguez. The returning Raquel Rodriguez.
I don't even know. That's a tough
I'm going to say Becky Lynch. I'm going with Becky Lynch all the way. Because everybody wants to see the match.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to see the match.
Everybody does want to see that match.
Jade versus Onis at Mania.
Jade versus Anyos.
Becky to set up Mania.
Rhea Ripley versus the man. Yeah, Nia.
Nia. Yeah.
Oh, Nia.
Jade versus Nia.
Becky to set up a Mania. Yep.
I want to see that match between her and Rhea.
You think they're going to give her the title at Mania?
I don't think I'm ready to see
Rhea Ripley
give up, but I can also see why they would probably put her to win because Seth is going to be out for a while.
He is
after Mania when he loses that title, so they're going to need an income. They're going to need somebody to fight, keep the family name going.
Seth he's not injured. I'm thinking
he is injured.
Oh, he is.
Seth is injured. His back is injured.
How's he gonna fight at?
He's injured in his leg and his back. He's all messed up.
How's he gonna fight in
Mania? He just say, you got to do it. He's gonna do it.
I mean, hey, look at Cody. He fought him a whole torn,
Exactly.
And that was one of the best Hell in a Cell matches I've ever seen. So,
and then now to the men's Elimination Chamber match: Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, Bobby Lashley, LA Knight, Kevin Owens, and Logan Paul.
I want Drew McIntyre to win. Either Drew McIntyre or Randy Orton. I want one of those two to win.
I have a feeling that Drew McIntyre is going to win this.
I want him to fight Gunther for the title.
Yeah.
I want to see those two fight for
I think Drew McIntyre is going to win this to fight Seth Rollins at WrestleMania.
Either Seth Rollins or...
And then in this match also, mark my words when I say this, this is going to create the match at WrestleMania for the U.S. title, LA Knight against Logan Paul.
Logan Paul, yeah.
That'll create everything.
You're calling that one right now.
Seth is the new generation HBK. I agree.
You're not. I mean,
I agree.
I more so thought of it as Dolph Ziggler at first, but now that he's not here anymore.
Yeah, no. But, Jaden, our time is up with our predictions. But we also did mention at the end of the show that we were going to make an announcement.
We do have an announcement.
We do have an announcement. So we have been working tirelessly with our creative team. Excuse me. Ooh, I can't. Can I breathe for a second? Work tirelessly with our creative team, and we have come up with an event that is going to happen on March 28th. March 28th. Live from the Tokyo Dome. Evolution of Pro Wrestling presents March Massacre. Hell have no fury. 15 matches. We're going to have 2 pre-show matches. What's what?
Water stat.
Triple H versus Seth, but Priest tried to cash in and make it a triple threat. Possibly.
Maybe.
It's possible.
Maybe.
But that is the name of the event that we're going to have. 15 matches. Almost every title on the line. AEW, NWA, anything you can think of. An awesome main event. Awesome stipulations. The week before that, I believe, which is March 21st. We're going to have that show to announce the matches. We're not going to vote for them, but we're going to announce the matches of the event. Then the following week is when we will have the actual event that will happen. And then come the 2 days before WrestleMania, August 4th, viewers' choice, everything about wrestling leading up to WrestleMania. What do you think, Jay?
I think it's gonna be fun. You know what I mean? This is gonna be a fun event. You know, this is like, you know, our evolution of pro wrestling pay-per-view, and I'm excited to see these.
Mark your dates: March 21st, March 28th, and April 4th.
I seen the matches as well.
Like we got some great matches. Our creative team has come up with the scenario.
Amazing.
It's gonna be awesome. One of our top guys came up with the name. It's gonna be an amazing event.
Flower knocker.
So March 21st is when we'll be back. We're gonna keep y'all in suspense. And we are going to come out and mention. He said, also, we have another plan for after Mania. We definitely do. We have a few things after Mania. We have some plans we will not speak of right now. But we definitely need to talk about that. But we have something in mind, too, that Creative has discussed. And that's going to be a blockbuster one as well.
It is indeed.
For myself, Louis, the Encyclopedia of Pro Wrestling.
And Jay, the heel kid of pro wrestling.
And for my lovely wife and producer, Jasenia. Always, fans, please feel free to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you, fans, for joining us. Plan B. Exactly, Plan B. Always a Plan B. Thank you, fans, for joining us. We appreciate you. Have a nice night and see you in a couple of weeks.